Hi friends, I'm back today for another recipe, which is a Jackfruit Kalia curry. So Kalia is a type of curry to which you can add various vegetables and protein. I have a couple more recipes on the channel and the blog. I'll leave you the link in the description if you want to check these out. But for today I'm using the green or young jackfruit. Jackfruit is a pretty amazing fruit. It's very big and can grow up to 90 centimeters in length. It usually grows in warmer areas. In Mauritius, the green jackfruit is usually used in curries and other savoury preparations, while the ripe jackfruit is often eaten fresh or used in desserts. The ripe jackfruit has a yellow flesh and is very sweet. I absolutely love this fruit. The green jackfruit, it has a white flesh and is more or less bland on its own. What's remarkable about this fruit is the texture. It can be pulled apart into strands. There's nothing really quite like this fruit. At the moment, jackfruit is not in season. You can usually find them in Asian stores during the summer month. So for today I'm using canned jackfruit. You can also find frozen jackfruit, both green and ripe, in the larger Asian stores. Make sure you get the green jackfruit and not the ripe one. The green jackfruit will come in brine, while the ripe jackfruit usually comes in syrup. Ripe jackfruit is not appropriate for savory dishes, so don't confuse the two. Now let's get started with the recipe. If you're using frozen jackfruit, allow it to defrost at room temperature. If using canned jackfruit, drain all the water from the can, then rinse the jackfruit a few times in cold water. You may want to cut the larger pieces into smaller bite-sized pieces. If you don't consume onion, you may leave it out. If you like it, you can add more to your taste. Dice the onion into small pieces. Finely chop the fresh herbs, the coriander or cilantro, and the mint. Fresh mint is the key ingredient in a Kalia curry. It is what gives this curry its characteristic and distinct fragrance and flavor. The hot green chilies are optional, and you can add as much as you can tolerate. You can leave them out if you don't handle the heat very well, or you can also leave them whole just for a subtle flavor. I'm using tamarind paste in this recipe. So to de-seed the pulp, smoosh it in some warm water until the paste is dissolved. Then remove the seeds and fiber. I have another video where I talk more about tamarind paste and how to de-seed it properly. I'll leave the link in the description or at the top right in the cards. If you can't find tamarind, you can substitute it with a tablespoon of lemon juice, or you can also use vegan yogurt instead of the coconut milk in this recipe. Let's start to make the sauce. In a skillet or pan on medium heat, add 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or vegetable oil. You can also leave the oil out and use water instead. Add the minced ginger or ginger garlic paste, followed by the onions. Saute for a couple of minutes until the onion is translucent. If you're not using onions, you can add the spices straight away. Add the cumin and garam masala. If you don't have garam masala, you can add a mixture of ground cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, black pepper and cloves. Roast the spices for about 30 seconds, then add the coconut milk or dairy-free yogurt. Add the turmeric, then add in the tamarind juice or lemon juice, or leave this out if using yogurt. Add a cinnamon stick and 4 green cardamom pods. Next, add the herbs, the mint and the coriander. You may reserve a little of the herbs for garnish later. Stir and let the sauce simmer for about 5 minutes, then add the green chilies if using. Add the jackfruit, stir and mix well with the sauce. Add the green peas and salt to taste. I am adding a little maple syrup, as canned jackfruit tend to be a little sour. If you're using fresh or frozen jackfruit, you may not need the additional sweetener, so taste and adjust as per your liking. You may add some water or more coconut milk to adjust the consistency of the sauce. Cover and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes while stirring occasionally and adding more liquid as required. If you're using canned jackfruit, it will cook in about 15 minutes. Frozen or fresh jackfruit may take up to 25 minutes. If serving this curry over rice, you may leave the jackfruit in chunky pieces, but you can also shred them using 2 forks. This curry is great to serve in wraps or roti. I made a spelt flatbread, which I will be sharing in another video. A refreshing cucumber mint raita is also a nice accompaniment with this curry. The raita recipe is coming soon, so stay tuned for this one. In the meantime, you can check out the Mauritian roti recipe that we already have on the channel. If you've enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. See you soon!